Across the European Union, there are rules by which GMO products must carry labels, but those rules can be confusing. David Green is a supporter of GMO. He says the reason the regulations are hard to follow is because of how they were introduced. He says they were written following a series of food illness outbreaks, from tainted olive oil to mad cow disease.
4 months later, the first genetically engineered crops, corn and soybeans, appeared in the shores. Well, genetically engineered is a very kind of scary word for the average consumer. I mean, the headlines wrote themselves. And at that time, that's when the legislators and regulators were going through developing legislation for biotechnology in Europe. They opted to require labeling according to what's called process-based labeling. In other words, the process by which a product is developed will be labeled. So a product that comes from biotechnology or genetically modified has to be labeled. That's very different from in the United States, where you would label if the end product is different. If the end product is no different from its genetically engineered product in the United States, why would you label it? If the characteristics are the same, nutritional value is the same, no need to label it. Europe opted for labeling according to the process, which I think is rather bizarre. I mean, where would you stop? Would you label which tractor was used or which packer handled the stuff when it went to the shelves? So that I think contributed from the very outset to confusion over labeling.
The EU's chief scientific advisor backed a recent published report that came out in June by the European Academy Science Advisory Council. I just want to read a little bit from this report. Producing more food sustainably requires crops that make better use of limited resources, including land, water, and fertilizer. The scientific literature shows no compelling evidence to associate such crops, now cultivated worldwide for more than 15 years, with risks to the environment or with safety hazards for food. Where do you see this debate going? I mean, in the final analysis, is it all about labeling because the genie's out of the bottle, it's here to stay?
It's a good question. If I look at the way things have gone in Europe over the last 12, 15 years, certainly at that time, 1 out of 10 people you would talk to in the streets of London, where I lived, would have heard of GMOs, and the reaction would have been negative. There's a survey carried out in the UK. It was published 2 weeks ago. 2,500 people were asked in a survey by the UK's Food Standards Agency, equivalent to the FDA. What were their concerns about food consumption? Unprompted, GMOs was 2%. It was 6 out of 10 that people responded to. It came below the expiration date on food product labels. When prompted by these consumers were given a list of 10 concerns, GMOs again came 5th or 6th. So there has been a change. Part of it is the products have been around for a long time. All the dire warnings of mutant crops could kill you have not come to pass. There has been no case of anybody shown to have not even a tummy bug from eating GMOs. So that issue seems to be moving more to consumers' fear, giving way to a pragmatism, if you will, that nothing has really happened. I think it has moved on.
All right, David Green, we have to move on as well, but thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much.